Hello, everyone. How are you doing? Welcome to Facts and Two Cents. This is Petal. Hope you are all having a great Saturday wherever you are. And what is going on in our world of our faves? Well, quite a bit, actually. They have been quiet, and obviously, we haven't heard from them in a bit. But we know that this coming week that they are going to be doing out and about, doing stuff. Harry in New York, Meghan in LA. And so... But some other stuff has been going on as well. And this came out a few days ago, and I didn't mention it. I actually think I forgot to mention it. We all remember we've been talking ad nauseum about Prince Harry's court case, his court case against the government, really, against Home Office for his security and security of his family. And they have been having this whole lie, really, that they don't basically allow anyone other than, say, the government and the royals and whatever, people who have really high threat levels and all of that stuff to get security. And they've given every excuse in the book why Prince Harry and Meghan cannot have security, and their kids really cannot have security, full security detail when they come to the UK. And the government, well, they've been giving all kind of rigmarole, and Harry has been contesting it because of the inconsistencies. We've talked about it. They have allowed sometimes some celebrities to get it. They do allow former prime ministers to get security. And Prince Harry and Meghan's, their threat level, even as they have left the royal institution, this threat level remains the same. And this whole thing has been just the most ridiculous thing I've ever seen, especially in the light of Prince Harry is a war veteran. He is the son of a king, and the king has his household, members of his household, his specific team on the Ravik board who decides who gets security, especially in the royal family. And they are trying to convince people that, oh, we have no say in who gets security. Oh, no, we have no say. And this lie has been perpetuating throughout this whole thing. And we've been countering that and backing up Harry in the fact that this is false. And the method in which they use to take Harry's security is against Ravik's own policies. And for some reason, this judge that is overseeing it is not, for some strange reason, and not really strange because we know a lot of those people, they basically bow to royalty anyway. He's just been pretty much backing the government's position on this. But amazingly enough, he has allowed Harry, he has thrown out everything else, but he has allowed Harry to appeal. And so this happened over the summer. And so I'm just going to take a read. Actually, it came out in the Telegraph, but because we're petty here and we're not going to give the Telegraph any hits, not that People is any, much better in terms of their tabloidry, but they're at least fairer when reporting on the Sussexes. And so this article says, Prince Harry may use Taylor Swift's case in his bid to get security decision overturned. The Duke of Sussex is locked in a legal battle with the UK government over the security of him and his family being downgraded in February 2020. That's how long this battle has been going on. And so these are little clips from the article. It says Prince Harry's legal team could turn to the example Taylor Swift set to help them overturn a legal decision over the royal security. When Swift was performing her record-breaking shows at Wembley Stadium in August, she was given police escort to the Eras Tour concerts. That came in the wake of serious security issues, a terror plot that prompted the cancellation of 3 of her Eras Tour dates in Austria. The clips go on, it says, a source with knowledge of the situation tells People that the prince wants to ensure the safety of himself and his family while in the UK, so his children can know his home country and work with his charities without any fear. The government's decision to provide Taylor Swift with armed police escort during her August 2024 Wembley Stadium performances highlight the significant inconsistencies in how protection decisions are being made by UK authorities, raising questions about the transparency and consistency of the process. A source says. Another part says, the security downgrade for Harry and Meghan was ultimately introduced by a committee called RAVEC. Its membership include the Home Office, the UK version of the Homeland Security, the Metropolitan Police, and the Royal Household. Although the King has no direct involvement with RAVEC, his staff sits on the RAVEC committee. And so for a long time, the royal family has basically shielded and kept secret the fact that their staff sit on the RAVEC committee. And it wasn't until Prince Harry filed a lawsuit that they found out that the royal family staff, the royal household staff, like Clyde Alderton and the Queen's former private secretary and all of these people, and one of William's private secretary, sat on the board of under the committee of RAVEC, who decides security for the royal household. They basically told Harry, when Harry was leaving, they basically told Harry that no, RAVEC is completely independent, and Harry went on that. He thought RAVEC was a completely independent committee, from the government that decided their security, only to understand later, after he filed his case, that members of the royal household also made that decision. They also sat on the RAVEC committee. And there's a lot of explaining here to do, because again, all through this case, although there have been evidence upon evidence to the contrary, RAVEC, they have claimed, and the Metropolitan Police that's claimed that, they are not police for hire, they're not protection for hire, where a person could pay for them to protect them, as Prince Harry offered to pay to get police protection, and they refused. They have refused them security. So now they have to explain how they can refuse a born prince whose father is the king, who served this country 2 tours of duty in war, and who continues to serve the military community in that country, how they could refuse him police protection while giving it to a pop star. They have to now explain that. And although people said King Charles has no direct involvement, if Prince Charles or King Charles's staff is on RAVEC, he has direct involvement. He has direct involvement. Clyde Alderton and the others could not be on the staff if King Charles said no. So this is just shielding Charles, like, he has no. Yes, he does. And then one of the things Harry recently, at least has been reported, that Harry had made it clear that King Charles has the power to give him security if he wanted to. And for what I've been saying this whole time, Prince Harry does not have security because the royal family does not want him to have that security. It's a form of control. They are willing to put him, his wife, and his children's life in danger. This is what is happening. So they obviously contacted Harry's people for comment, and they have completely not said a word, which I'm happy that they have not. But I would be surprised if they don't use this as an example, because they've used others as examples. The judge didn't accept it, but this is a clear and blatant example of, you give it to a pop star who's not even from the UK, but you cannot give the son of the king, one who served your country, who put his life on the line for your country for 10 years and served 2 tours of duty in war, security, but you gave it to a pop star. And said pop star, remember William was at Taylor Swift's concert. So he was perfectly fine to go to Taylor Swift's concert, making sure, they have security and all of that stuff. Took his kids, they posting it all over social media that they were at the concert. But his own brother is being denied security. His own brother's family is being denied security. They're going to have to explain that. I hope Harry and his team really go after them on this. So we will see. But so far, Harry and his team, obviously, it's a court case. They have not commented on it. But I would hope that they would really go after this. we will see what will happen. I don't remember. I have to go and check the date when the next hearing is going to be on this. I guess sometime, I think in the spring of 2025 or something like that. I have to go back and check the dates. With Harry has so many of these court dates, I'm losing track. So we'll see. What else is happening? Hat off, Hugh Grant. As we know, Hugh Grant was part of the court case against the Sun with Prince Harry and a whole other bunch of people. And right now, Hugh Grant has settled with the Sun because, as we've talked about numerous times, these tabloids put you in a situation where when they offer you something, if you reject it and go to trial and you win less than what you were offered, you're liable to pay millions of their court fees, etc., etc., etc. It is a crazy thing that is, I don't know, again, why it is the way it is in the UK, where it only works in the favor of the tabloid if you sue them. And so, but Hugh Grant has been really on them because of his personal experience with being hacked and blagged and people, doing secret recordings. I mean, they even broke into his house and all of that stuff. And so Hugh Grant was on Howard Stern, and he was relaying this really crazy story about how he found out and he realized what it is that was happening to him. He was talking about driving on this lonely road somewhere in the UK, and his car broke down. And all of a sudden, this car stopped, and this person started taking all kinds of photos of him, and like a paparazzi. And he's in the middle of nowhere wondering, like, how on earth did anybody know he was there? And when he realized what was happening, he was stuck because he's in this lonely place. His car was broken down and he needed a ride, and ended up having to take a ride from the paparazzi guy. And on their way to wherever, this guy started relaying to him all the different things he's done, like hacking and all the, listening on people's conversations and all the things that he's done to people for these news outlets in the UK. And so Hugh Grant was like, oh my gosh, I wish I had something to record this stuff. This guy is relaying all of this stuff to him in the car, and he had no recorder or nothing. And so what he did, I guess the guy either usually visit this pub or own this pub or something. So Hugh Grant set up a time to meet up with this guy. He brought a friend with him, and they brought like these pen recorders or something like that. And so they met up with this guy again, started chatting him up and talking about this stuff again. And so the guy spat out all this stuff, to them, and they were able to record it. And that's why I think got all this stuff going with him pressing charges and, suing people for what they did to him. But it's just like, oh my goodness. And so Hacked Off, which is part of Hugh Grant's, I think, outlet, it says Hugh Grant on Howard Stern, after speaking out about the press misconduct in 2011, the mother of his children received a threatening anonymous call. He revealed evidence of phone hacking, police bribery, and sinister ties between the media and government, exposing it all with a secret recording. And that's the recording he got from this guy. But after he went public and spoke out about what happened, they then targeted his wife and kids. And it's just like, these people are no joke. They are no joke. I mean, and it's so important here is it talks about police bribery and sinister ties to the media, between the media and the government. It's the same thing that's happening with Prince Harry. Completely same thing. We talked about that link between the tabloids and the police. We talked about it, with Levi Davis case. We talked about it with all of these white men with sexual misconduct, and how they are always getting off, always a slap on the wrist, always there are no further charges to be made. We be it, cases alleged against Dan Wooten, the BBC guy, or even if they get any kind of sentence is like a slap on the wrist. It is crazy with these things. It is absolutely crazy that these people are allowed to get away with the things that they get away with, especially if they're in the press, because of a lot of police bribery. And so it's just, I mean, it was like, what? So it is a really crazy story. I have to post a link of the video on our community page so you couldn't get it. But it is really crazy. And it's just really sad that Hugh Grant couldn't continue the case. I mean, they paid him a substantial amount of money that if he refused it, then he would be on the hook. And the guy, he's an older, he's not a young guy anymore. And he has a family, he has kids and a wife to take care of. He can't afford $10 million to be paying the son, even if he won the case. So, but yeah, so I'm not upset at anyone who decides to settle and take the money because of how the court system is set up. It's a no-win for the people who are suing the tabloids. So the tabloids get to do this nonsense, just, and make money off of you. And there's nothing, it seems, people can do about it until the law changes. So crazy, crazy, crazy. But this came out, I think, yesterday. This is, how they're always attacking Harry and Meghan when their staff leaves, and how many staff has left now? And I haven't really paid attention to Prince William and his staff, but quite a few seem to be leaving. But it's very different how it's reported in the press. Again, I'm going to go with people because I don't want to give, the Daily Mail any credit for anything. But yes, I am petty. So anyway, so their take on the story says Prince William's right-hand man, Rob Dixon, announces departure from the role in emotional post. It's the right thing to do. And we're going to come back to that. It's the right thing to do there in a minute. It says Lieutenant Colonel Dixon, who has served as an equerry to the royal household since 2020, called the experience a remarkable journey, but wrote it's time to move on. Lieutenant Commander Rob Dixon, who was first appointed to the royal household in 2020, shared an emotional LinkedIn post that it was time to move on from his role. And this is what he said, I had the most incredible opportunity to serve in a role that not only challenged me, but allowed me to grow, to learn, and to make meaningful contribution alongside a talented and passionate team. Dixon wrote on November 29th, alongside photos of him with Prince William, Kate Middleton, Prince George, Prince Harry, and other royals. The Daily Mail reported that Dixon is leaving his role as equerry to return to his post in the Royal Navy, where he served for nearly 24 years. And I went ahead and I looked at the LinkedIn post. And it was one of those posts that it was very emotional about being on Team Wales and being on Team Windsor, and how great it was, and how amazing it was, and all the things. I mean, it was so over the top effusive that that something is up. That something is up. And that this is a PR in terms of, how they attack Meghan and the staff working with Meghan. And this was so over the top that, this was we need to get William good PR. We need that PR, and we need this to be overly effusive. And it is fine. I mean, it's fine to, really have a great time in your job, and really, that's fine. I mean, I have if you had a great time working with William and Kate, great. But it was so overly effusive that it was just like, this is more than just an employee who had just such an amazing, rewarding time leaving a job. You know what the narrative of this would be. And so it's just but it's just, I had to go back to it's the right thing to do. Why is that there? Why is it's the right thing to do? What does that mean exactly? Because if he didn't do it, what would have happened? If he didn't leave, what would have happened? And it's just like, what was going on there that it makes him right? It was the right thing to do. And so maybe I'm just a suspicious person. as to why that is there. It could just mean that, oh, well, it's the right thing for me to do, or it's to go back to the military or whatever because of this ongoing military situation. Maybe it's the right thing to go back to the Navy, whatever. But it's just things that makes you go, And it's funny that he came from the Navy and is going back to the Royal Navy. And it's the right thing to do, and he's going back to the Navy because of this thing? Because remember a few weeks ago when this thing broke, and this is the Times article, and of course other news outlet picked it up as well, revealed the property empires that makes Charles and William millions. And this is just one clip from that article from the Times. It says, which is the Sunday Times in the UK, it says William and Charles, the duchies of Cornwall and the duchies of Lancaster, how they make their millions basically ripping off taxpayers is how they do it, in a roundabout way. It's not this direct line, but by charging exorbitant rents to organizations and entities that are funded by taxpayers. And so this is a little clip from the article. It says they operate as commercial landlords while having a special agreement with the Treasury exempting them from paying taxes on their corporate profits. The duchies are not directly funded by the taxpayer, but leases and contracts in the king and prince's own names show that they are making millions of pounds a year by charging the army, the Navy, and the NHS, prison services, and schools and state schools to use their land, rivers, and seashores. And again, one of the entity that they charge is the Navy. The same Navy that this Lieutenant Commander Rob Dixon is a part of. The same Navy that he is a part of is the same one that basically King Charles and William are making money out of. They're making money off of them. Could it be this, could this be part of why he felt like, it's the right thing to do to leave? Because how do you explain being and working for these people, working for Prince William while he is profiting off the Navy that you are the lieutenant commander of, profiting off of them using the river, the very river that they need to train the same Navy whose Navy school that Charles and William attended? They are making money off of them, millions of dollars off of them, to use their land and to use the water. And it's just incredible to me. So I don't know, maybe it's again, my suspicions as to why he's leaving, but I don't understand how you could be part of a Navy and work for the people that basically is ripping them off and ripping off taxpayers and making them have to pay all of this money to them, while also them being the command, the head of the military. Like, that doesn't make any sense. How do you work for people like that? So who knows? I mean, that's just my thinking, like, maybe that's a reason why he's leaving. I don't know. It's just me. Maybe none of this has anything to do with it, but I'm just like, that's interesting. Anyway, so it's just all very, very interesting to me. So again, I'm going to put a pin in the, it's the right thing to do, and see what else pops up, because something always does. Anyway, what else is happening? Finally, Invictus. If you are interested in getting a deal on tickets to the Invictus Games in Vancouver Whistler, this is the time to get your tickets. It says IG25 Black Friday deal. And this is valid until December 3rd. So you have until Tuesday to get your tickets, because it says get ready for a deal that's double the fun. From Black Friday to Giving Tuesday, when you buy a ticket to the opening or closing ceremonies at the Invictus Games Vancouver Whistler in 2025, presented by Atco and Boeing, we're giving you a free ticket to an epic sports event. One incredible experience. Tickets are going fast, so don't wait. So find out everything you need to know about the deal, including eligible events, how to redeem your code, and key dates on our website at the FAQ page. So if you are looking to go to the opening ceremony or closing ceremony, if you buy a ticket between now and Tuesday, you can get an extra ticket for one of the other events. So get your ticket now if you're doing that. I have to get, I already have tickets to the opening ceremony, and so I have to get my tickets to the other events. So anyways, very much again looking forward to the Invictus Games. Hope you guys are going to be there. I look forward to seeing other squaddies there as well. So anyway, guys, that's it. Thank you so much to our awesome moderators, Lydia Church, Nelly, Karen M, Cookies and Cream, and Black Queen. You are awesome as usual. Thank you to our awesome 2 Cents crew who support the channel on a monthly basis, and to those of you who support in the chat. I appreciate so much your support, and you help me to make this channel what it is. I appreciate all of you so very much. So thank you guys so much. Have a fantastic day, and I will chat with you next time. Have a great day, everyone. Bye.